Alright, so I made this video with the help of my good friend Jaden and my little brother. And both of them are either have already sat the GAMSAT in the case of Jaden, or are preparing to sit the online GAMSAT in the case of my little brother. Now this video is just going to talk about 3 of the biggest changes that make it different from the normal paper exam, and I'm just going to give some quick tips on how you can try and overcome or minimize, the effect of those changes. Now, the exam is going to be completely paperless and online. So what does that mean? Well, that means 2 important things. One is you're going to have to forego, the humble pen, and you're going to have to click and type your way through the exam. So I would recommend, on top of the study that you're already doing, like focusing on the questions for the GAMSAT, I reckon you should try and focus on improving your typing speed when you have time. So there are a few applications that I use to improve my typing speed. One is Rapid Typing 5, which is more like just the basic technique of learning how to type properly with good technique. And then there's Keybr, so that's keybr.com. And that's really good because although it doesn't use real words to type with, it's like you make an account and then it like saves your information as you type, and it'll focus more on those letters or words that you struggle to type with more. So it's kind of like intelligently makes you improve your weaknesses and make you a more overall better typer. And then the last one is 10 Fast Fingers. And that's good because that has time limits and it uses real words. And also, if you're a bit competitive like me, it also has multiplayer online versus, which is like the peak of nerdness, is just battling people in typing battles. But it's really good practice as well. So I think you should try and do that like maybe half an hour a week, and yeah, that should help you a bit. Now, even improving your word count by like 10 to 20 words per minute in the next month or 2 months can save you precious minutes and really, allow more time to get those ideas, especially during section 2 when you're writing the essay, onto the screen. Now, the other thing is that you're going to be staring at a digital screen. So that means that, if you need glasses, get them obviously. And if you struggle with looking at a digital screen, try and figure out if you need any corrective lenses or anything that might help with that. And also just carry some eye drops. Like I always like putting in eye drops when my eyes get really itchy and dry. So in the breaks, you can put, a drop in each eye, and that might help you, stay focused and not have to, look away and lose some precious minutes. Also, like you can do eye massage, which is like, a bit weird. Like I wouldn't do it in a room full of people, but it's like, you just like close your eyes and like rub your eyelids in a clockwise fashion. And if that's something that might help you, is also important to consider. Now, the other big change is the timing and the questions. So I've included what it looks like in terms of timing and questions for this year's GAMSAT for the March sitting. Now, just some notes on what it used to be previously. So section 1 previously used to be 75 questions and 110 minutes. Section 2 is the same as before, and section 3 used to be 110 questions over 180 minutes. So they've kind of cut it back a little bit, and what I've heard from my friend and a few other sources is that they kind of drop the easier questions, and the difficult questions still are pretty similar to before. And there's also like, if you struggle with a specific style, especially in section 1, where there's different types of text that you have to interpret, it's harder to make up the marks in later on questions if you do bad in one stem. So you kind of have to focus more on being good at all different styles, because they might bias one particular style more. And then if you're not good at that style, you're just not going to get enough points. Now, in terms of online courses to prepare yourself for it, a lot of question banks and stuff have kind of changed their approach to match the online format of the exam, but I really like Fraser's GAMSAT. I think they're one of the best ones. and that's what I used when I was preparing for the GAMSAT. And they try to make their questions very similar to what the format is going to be for the actual exam. So it's good to familiarize yourself with the way they set out questions. But I'm sure there's other tutoring programs that are really good for that stuff. Now, the third thing I wanted to talk about was that they're still using exam windows like they were previously. So now, before it was like, everyone rocked up on the same day, sat at the same time and did it all together. But now they're using windows. Well, not the operating system, but maybe they are using the operating system. I don't know. But now it's like over a period of time, you get given a date and you have to rock up. I know last year when they did the online version for the first time, it was section 1 and 2 was on one day and section 3 was on another day. But this time it's going back to the original style where it was all on the same day. So you rock up, you'll get given a day and you have to sit all 3 sections in the one sitting. Now, all I can really say about that is make sure you don't get your date mixed up with any of your friends and you take that day off work or school or whatever and you go that day. Yeah, and that's all I can really say on that. You don't want to get your date mixed up with anyone else's. Okay, so that is pretty much everything I wanted to share. I've included the resources that I talked about in the description below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you really liked it, give it a sub. If you have any notes or questions, just put them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them. But yeah, interesting times. Alright, this is Cher. Bye.